Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's Thursday. So if it's at Thursday and it's noon, or if it's Tuesday and it's noon, then you would be joining Pastor Nathan or myself, or maybe one day both of us, for a multi-ethnic reading as part of our multi-ethnic conversations, unity in our church. We are continuing to shine the light on people in history who have made a difference, whether it's through culture, through music, through song, through poetry, in the life that they've lived in many different ways. We want to share an excerpt of someone's life with you through this time together at noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm here today and I'm sort of chuckling because this is Try Something New Thursday. So instead of being at my normal home where I know that I can control everything around me and the silence, I am in my office. And I was chuckling a few minutes ago because they were blowing off the sidewalk. And I thought, well, surely they'll be done in 10 minutes. And then I looked out the window again and the people had multiplied and it was getting louder and louder. But I do think that at this point, we should have some quiet for a few minutes. So welcome again. I am Pastor Peyton. I'm one of the pastors here at Christ Church, and I use the pronouns she, her, and hers. And this is our time together for multi-ethnic reading and conversations talking about people in history who've made a difference in our lives that we experience today. And I'm excited about the person that I have chosen today, and I'm excited that you're with me. One of my favorite authors is one of the people that I've chosen today. But I wanted to share a little bit more of the book that we are reading from and some of the thoughts of the author of this book, Vashti Harrison. And remember, I like to read from Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. And some of the things and the reasons why that this book was created is what I want to share with you before I share with you the person I have chosen for today. Vashti says, I wanted to tell the stories together to celebrate not only their collective contributions to history, but also to their diversity. Some of those that I've written about you will recognize, such as Harriet Tubman and Rosa Parks, but you'll also meet less famous figures such as Alice Ball and Mary Bowser. You'll meet scientists, politicians, doctors, painters, sculptors, and dancers, and they are all Black women. This is in no way means that this book is only for Black girls. I hope readers of every background will find these stories compelling. She goes on to say that she hopes that we would be able to see ourselves in someone else's story, because that can be life-changing. To know that a goal is achievable can be empowering. I hope that anyone who reads these biographies, whether or not they look like these little leaders, would be inspired to go after the things that they are passionate about. With every turn of the page, you'll discover a new bold woman who changed history. Let them inspire your future. And I would say, I hope that each of these stories and all of this time together, shining the light on different leaders, different people who have written stories or music or philosophers or doctors, would also inspire each of us to be who we were created to be, but also to share our stories. So here's the drum roll for today. The person that I have chosen is one of my favorite authors, and I kept going back and forth and deciding who to share today, and I just have to do this one. There are people that I see, and I don't know if you do this, that you would love to meet and have tea with. And the person I chose today is Maya Angelou, and she is a person that I would love to have a moment to sit and have tea with. Unfortunately, that's not possible. She passed away in 2014. But she had a couple of famous quotes that I want to share with you. According to Google, her most famous quote is, do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. Another one that I really like is, if you don't like something, change it. So let's learn about Maya Angelou today. So Maya Angelou lived from 1928 to 2014. She was a poet and an activist, and we're going to learn that she didn't speak for 5 years. So here, this story of Maya Angelou. Let me show you the picture we have. So this is Maya Angelou, according to our author and illustrator. This is how she sees Maya Angelou. Maya was known as a writer and a poet, but she was so much more. In her long life, she would take on many roles: filmmaker, dancer, singer, actor, activist, editor, Grammy winner, cable car operator, playwright, author, and legend. I wonder if we made a list, I have to pause here, if we made a list of all the things and all the roles that we had, what would be our roles? That's a huge list, right? Long before all of her success, she was just a little girl trying to find her voice. Born Marguerite Annie Johnson, she spent much of her childhood living with her grandmother in a small segregated town of Stamps, Arkansas. Her only companion was her older brother, who gave her the nickname Maya. Maya experienced abuse when she was only 7 years old. The fear and trauma it left behind were enough to convince her never to speak again. For 5 years, Maya never uttered a word to anyone. But during those 5 years, she read. She devoured every book in the black school library and every book she could get her hands on, from the white school library and anything that she could find. It wasn't until a childhood mentor challenged her, saying, "You don't really love poetry unless you speak it," that Maya spoke again. She was a master wordsmith who approached language with thoughtfulness and patience. Another challenge sparked her writing career. When her editor told her it's nearly impossible to write a lyrical autobiography, Maya went on to write her best-selling masterpiece, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, a lyrical and poetic telling of her childhood. In 1993, she became the first female poet to write and recite a poem for the presidential inauguration, which brought her poetry into the mainstream again. Maya Angelou did so much in her lifetime and inspired everyone around her. I wonder if you have something favorite that you have heard or read by Maya Angelou. I constantly look to seek to find new things and to read things that I haven't read yet that she has written. And I was also inspired to learn, as I was learning more about her this week, that not only did she not speak for 5 years, but during that 5 years, her mother constantly poured into her that when she decided to speak, she was going to have something amazing to say. And I think we are so excited and so happy to know that when Maya Angelou began to speak again, she did have something amazing to say, and we have been blessed by that. I hope you've enjoyed our story of Maya Angelou today. I hope that you will try something new and maybe go find something that you didn't know about Maya Angelou and read one of her poems or read a book or find some music. She has touched us in so many ways, and there are so many things that we can find that she has done to leave a mark in our society and on our lives. So I invite you to come back on Tuesday with Pastor Nathan or Thursday with myself at noon to learn more about leaders in history that have a different culture or place than we may think, and we can learn more about different cultures and diversity and inclusion. So thank you for joining me. I hope to see you guys soon.